In this video, I'm going to cover the pros and cons of starting something by yourself. So this could be starting your own mobile app, building your own website, or starting really any kind of side project or business solo. My philosophy has always been that anyone can start anything by themselves, and that's why I really started this channel, The One Man Startup, to kind of show people that you individually can get something started. But I do want to take a step back now and talk about the differences of starting something by yourself versus starting something with maybe one or two other people. So firstly, let's talk about the benefits of starting something by yourself. The first one is that you will be the main decision maker in your project. And obviously that's because you're the only one working on the project, but you will have the final say in everything. All of your ideas and all of your thoughts will go fully into your project. So that means there's really not going to be any arguments about anything. Whatever you want to do, you can do, and whatever you think is right is what you'll do. So that opens up a level of freedom where you don't have to consult with anyone else or really get anyone's permission to do anything. You have the final say and the only say, really, so you can do essentially whatever you want. The second main benefit to starting something solely by yourself is you will own the whole thing as well. So financially, this means you will own 100% of the profits, and you won't have to share any profit that you make in your new venture. Typically, if you were to start something with another person, you would divide it maybe 50-50, and that means any profit that you make from the project itself would have to be divided, and you would really only get half of it. Now, this really is only an issue, I think, if your project is pretty small in scale. So if your side project or app or business is pretty small in scale and it's really not going to generate a lot of money, then it might make sense to do it completely by yourself, because dividing not a lot of money amongst multiple people is maybe going to make it not worth it. Whereas if you have a project that's huge in scale and becomes this large thing, then it doesn't really matter that you're dividing a large amount of money, because so much money is coming in that dividing it out is okay. You still will make a ton of money yourself. The third benefit, in my opinion, to starting something by yourself is that you're going to learn so much more. So for instance, if you were to start your own app, there's so many different topics that you're going to need to learn to make that app successful. One of them will be programming. Another will be design and designing user interfaces and actually making good user experiences. Additionally, you learn about marketing and probably advertising and tracking sales and really a lot of business side stuff, which to me is interesting. I do like to learn all these new things. So I think if you're that type of person as well, then going at it alone is maybe a good option. You can imagine the opposite of that. If you paired with a designer, for instance, they would do all the design work and you might do all the development work, and you wouldn't really learn much about how to do design work. So that's something to consider as well. Now, talking about some of the negatives about starting something by yourself and where starting with a partner or two other people might make sense is you could imagine kind of the opposites of what the pros were. So firstly, if you're the only one working on this project, then you need to be able to hold yourself accountable to the project and be able to get things done by yourself. If you do have a partner, they will immediately hold you accountable, because they're going to be working on stuff, you're going to be working on stuff, and you're both going to be kind of pushing each other to work more and maybe set more deadlines and actually show up for the partner. Whereas if you're doing it by yourself, you can easily just say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow or I'll do that next week. And no one's going to be there to tell you, hey, you didn't get this done, or I need this by this time, because it's really just you at the end of the day. Another main benefit to having a partner is just being able to discuss ideas. So maybe you have an idea and it could be a decent idea, but it also might be a horrible idea. And if you're working on the project by yourself, there's no one there to tell you that it's a bad idea. So you might end up building this thing that someone could have just immediately told you in the beginning is not a good idea, and you end up wasting a lot of time. Additionally, talking through ideas with people, I've found, makes the idea grow into a better idea. So maybe you have a good solid part of that idea, and then you talk to someone about that idea and they give you a couple more features or aspects to that idea that make it even better. So that is something that I think is very valuable with a partner that you might not get if you're just working on it by yourself. There are ways to mitigate this, I think, by talking about your idea with different people that maybe aren't involved in the business, but maybe friends or other people that are working on other businesses, and just talk to people about your idea. Also, getting customer validation from your idea before fully building anything is always a good plan, so that you know that you have demand for the project that you're going to be building. Lastly, you may not want to learn everything about a business, so you may not want to learn design, or you may not want to learn how to program. And that's where a partner really can be a huge strength, because you can pair up with someone that has the skills that you don't have, and then you complement each other in that skill set so you have a more full dynamic range of what you can do. This is likely the biggest reason to actually partner with someone. If, for instance, someone wants to manage all the marketing and another person wants to manage all the development, that could be huge because both of those are pretty complex areas that will take a lot of time and dedication. So with a partner that has that skill set that you don't have, you can run a lot faster and get things out a lot quicker. But defining those roles early on and making sure everyone knows what they're responsible for is definitely going to be very important if you do work with another person. Overall, I think as any business or side project grows, you will need to bring more people on and either have them as employees or co-owners, because really any type of large business is going to be too much work to do by yourself. That being said, I still think everyone can start by themselves, get something up and running, and then at that point, it's going to be a lot easier to find a partner because you'll have something tangible that you've already built or you already have, and you can show them, hey, look what I have, look at this, look at these sales I've gotten, or look at the potential of this idea I have that I've already kind of somewhat built out. And it'll be a lot easier to get people to buy into that than just an idea. Because at the end of the day, an idea is just that. It's just an idea. An idea without action is essentially nothing. So start putting in that action to your idea, and then you'll be able to find people to work with you. Comment down below and let me know if you're a individual startup or if you are working with a partner or a team, and what you have found to be the pros and cons of your situation. All right, ciao for now.